Hello everyone. Gosh. Hello everyone. Today we're doing exercise 5.8, and on this exercise I will try to be as quick as possible. Reason being, it seems like it's gonna be a pretty long exercise, so it's better I do things as fast as I can. So it's exercise 5 point what? Oh, it's 5.8. Okay, so I'm not even gonna read a question. You'll do it yourself, you guys. Okay, just pause the video and read it through. Okay, so here's what I did. So given a list of students names and student scores and their corresponding scores, we are required to display a student with the high score, right? That is basically what we want to do. Okay, so here's what I did. I created a scanner to read user input. After that, I created a prompt my user, and then what I'm doing, I'm simply storing that. I'm prompting my user to enter the number of students, and I'm storing that to this variable called number of students. Don't worry about the data type, it is what I could think of. Okay, and then these two variables here, they would basically store a student who's currently performing well. Okay, because we'll be basically traversing a list and checking if and comparing the current student with the one that we considered as a high performing student. Okay, so this high student here is a name of a student who's performing well, and high score corresponds to the score of that student. Okay, so now we're getting to the core of this tutorial. These variables right here, student list and student score, will basically store a list of student and a list of what? And a list of scores. Okay, a list of student names and a list of scores. So how? And then finally here I'm displaying the results. Okay, so here's what we gotta do. Firstly, we gotta create a list of student names, and student scores. Okay, so how am I gonna go about doing that? I'll use a while loop. I'll simply go while number of students. I'll keep incrementing my number of students up to 0. Okay, while number of students is greater than 0, what I'll then do, I'll prompt a user. No, I'm not gonna prompt. That's how I'm gonna create my list. I'll simply prompt a user to enter a name. System.out.print Liang, of course. Nope, I don't want Liang, I want print. Okay, because enter will let us go to the next line. Okay, so it's gonna be enter a student's name and school. Done. Here's what I'll simply do. I'll simply go student list, I'll concatenate that with, what did I name my scanner? Is it input or scanner? So it's gonna be scanner.next int. Thing is, what I wanna do, I wanna separate my scores by a single space, and likewise for my list of names. So it's gonna be list student school school list. I'll simply go scanner.next double and then I put a space after that. So that should be pretty much it. And then lastly, I wanna update my number of students. I wanna decrement it. Okay. Once this loop right here is done executing, we'll be having a list of students. Maybe we'll be having something like, if you've got Luandile, John, and Max, will be, if you've got 3 people like that and they are score, let's just put their corresponding scores. Maybe say, let's go 84, 76, 99. Okay, so if we're having 3 people with 3 scores, we'll, by the end of this list there, we'll be having something like that. It's just an example, folks. I hope everyone is with me here. Okay, once I'm done with the list, the next thing to do will be to then have variables. Two variables. The one will be a variable to hold a student names, a name of a current student on our list, because we'll be going from left to right on our list. So what we do one is a variable name to store a student name. Initially, you can initialize it to null if you want to, and if we want the corresponding score, let's make it a double student score. Let's make it the minimum value, a minimum double value. Okay, now that I've got that, what we want to do now is to start from left to right on both of our list and try to compare the current name and the current store and the current score, with our current maximum score. That should be it, you guys. What I'm basically doing, I'm comparing the current student with the student whose score is our maximum yet. Okay, so here's what I want to do. What I want to do, I'll keep executing this body of the slope while my scores list, my student list contains, while it contains a space while it contains that space, I will keep executing what I'm about to write on this loop here. And student score list, while it contains a space, I'll keep executing my list. So in this example, I want to continue my list as long as there's a space in between my names. Then I will know there's a student to read or score to read. Okay. Now let's continue. I feel like I'm already taking too much time. There are people coming by. One sec, folks. Okay, my friends are gone now. Let's continue. So here's what I'll do. I wanna read the current student names, right? Okay, it's gonna be student name is equals to, we're basically going back to strings, folks. That is my approach. Okay, so I'll simply go student list dot, I'm basically taking the very first name on my list. So in this case, in this whole list, in this list of names, I'll be extracting Luandile. by this code here. So I'm basically using the substring method together with the index of method defined in the string class. Okay, so substring starting from 0 up to student list dot index of space. So again, on this example, I'm taking Randile there. That's all. Okay, that should be it for my student names, for my student name, and for my student school. What I want is to apply one and the same thing. School list dot substring starting from 0 to index of to school list to index of space. However, what I wanna do, I wanna convert that to a double. So I'm gonna go past double. And then close my brackets. Okay. Now that I've retrieved that, the next thing to do will be to compare high performer with the current student. Okay, so I'll simply go if my high student okay, now that I'm done doing that, I'll simply go if my high student is less than my current student. That variable, maybe the name isn't quite okay, or isn't quite sensible, but you guys get the point. So I'll just go while high score, if high score is less than student score, what do I do in that case? I've gotta update my high score. So high score is equals to student score. Likewise for high student is equals to student name. I hope we clear there, folks, what's going on. Okay, once we're done doing that, it's time for me to update my list. I'll simply do that by, in fact, I want to remove my current student, and that is the student at the beginning of my list. Likewise for the list of scores, I want to remove the score at the beginning of my list. Again, I'll simply do that. Student list dot substring I wanna go student list dot index of that +1 though, because right now on our example I wanna get rid of this string Luandile and this space too, so that's why I'm using index of method +1, the index of that space +1, because I want to go to the beginning of the next name, which is John. Okay, in that example, I'm hoping people are clear here. Okay, what else I want to do? I want to go student it's school list dot substring. Same thing applies. It's substring student or school list dot index of. Okay, now that I've updated my list, remember folks, this is from student A's perspective. So this isn't the best solution one can get out of this problem here. It seems like that should be pretty much it for this exercise, you folks. Okay, it is time for me to hit the run button. Okay, but there's something I want to talk about here, folks. Perhaps I don't know if I should show you guys the error or show you guys the right now. I don't know if I should show the error to you guys right away, or I should wait and then show it to you later on, right? But let's try to hit the run button and see what we get. Oh, let's talk about our logic first before I even proceed. So the idea is, this line here, we're taking the number of students. Right here, we're basically initializing a high performing student, a name and the score, right? And then these two here are our list, the list of student names and the list of student scores. Right here, we're creating that list because initially it's empty. Okay, as you guys see, we have a name and then a space. Oops, these are the spaces I'm talking about. We have a name and the space, a name and the space, so on and so forth. Likewise for our scores, right? So I'll keep reading a name and the corresponding score while there is a space. I want you guys to take a look at something here. Note something here. You see this space here? It is also here. It's just that it's hidden. That's what the compiler assumes, right? Even though it's kind of invisible to us, but that's what the compiler assumes. It assumes that there is a space there. What do I mean by that? You will see later on. There's an error I will show to you guys, okay? But for now that we did that, okay, now that this loop has created, now that we've created our list, what we will then do is to have two variables to hold the current name and the current score. So what we simply do, we'll simply keep executing our loop while there's a space. Okay, what we then do for the current name, we simply find the current name by removing the very first name on our list of names and the very first score on our list of scores. Okay, so we keep doing that. Okay, we do that and then we compare our high performing student and the current score. I hope everyone is clear there. We keep doing that till the end. Okay, because of the way I implemented my solution, let me hit the run button first. I know some of you guys are curious why I didn't. Some of you guys assume that, okay, by the time this loop finishes, we'll be having maybe max on our list of names and 99 on our list of scores. It turns out that's not the case, and I'll tell you guys in a sec why that is not the case. Let's just put 3. Let's just go Andile. What was the score? It doesn't matter. Let me just put John. No, it's Job. John 67. Okay. max 88. Okay. Let me see. Where could I possibly have messed up? We do make mistake, folks, so you're gonna have to give me a sec to figure this out. Okay, folks, it seems like I made a damn error here. Forgot putting a 1 over there, because what we're doing is we're getting rid of our first name on our list of names, and we're also getting rid of our first score on our list of scores. So our new list will be the same as the old one, except that we won't be having the element we had on the first element we had on the previous list. Okay, so we've got to update our score list and our student list. Okay, this machine can be slow sometimes and it's pretty annoying. Tell me we're good. Okay, now let's hit the run button and see what we get. What's going on? Let's put something like 4 students. Max. Man boy. Then lastly, let's put, what's the name? I cannot think of any. Let's go team 98. Seems like our program works as expected. However, there's something I want to point out here, you folks. Remember what I told you about the compiler. You see, the way we're creating our list, we put a name and then we concatenate it with a space. I know if you take a look at what we have right here, you may assume that there are only 2 spaces here, the one preceding J for John and lastly the one preceding M for Max. Turns out that the compiler treats this differently. The way we created our list, it is assuming that we also have another space here next to Max and another space here next to 99 on our tool list. So to be honest, you guys, at first I thought maybe once this loop finishes, our list of scores will be containing 99 and our list of names will contain Max. Turns out that I was wrong because of the reason I just mentioned. Okay, but what we can do is, maybe I shouldn't do this, but you can try it yourself. What we can do is we can add this condition here, right? Oops, you can put this right here. Oh gosh, now that this thing is slow, I feel like stopping right away. Okay, if you wanna have a case where by the end of this loop, if you wanna make your list contain Max, your list of names contain Max, and your list of scores contain 99 by the end of this loop, what you can do is to only add, when creating your list, what you can do is to only add these spaces only if your number of students is greater than 1. That's way on your last name that will be entered for your student names, you will only enter that name without the space after it. The very same concept applies for your list of scores. You can do that on your own, you guys. Please try it and let me know what you think, because to be honest, I had because I tried this problem before. I had some exceptions. Like, I was trying to convert a non-empty list of scores. I was trying to convert that to a double, because I was assuming that the compiler will treat these lists here the way they seem to our eyes. Okay, that should be it for this tutorial, you guys. Cheers, see you on the next one. I'm gone.